in 3Cs, for example, a woman's getting fucked on the bed doggy, and there might be a guy that she hasn't talked to, has just walked up and he's got his cock out, and then she'll just grab it and start sucking it.
Yeah.
Because he was close enough that it's clear that's what he was. He was interested in playing, and she's like, I'll suck that cock, and just grabbed onto it.
Yeah.
Another one is
But we've created that vibe in the event as
Correct.
well for that to work.
But there hasn't been, I'd love you to suck my cock, will you? And she'd go, I'd love to suck your cock, may I? There's just been
at 3C she'd be like, waste of my mouth.
This is not what my mouth is supposed to be going. Hello everyone, welcome back to Swapping Secrets with OSS. My name is Lawrence. If you haven't already, don't forget to give that spank button a subscribe, or you could subscribe by spanking that subscribe button. Can we keep that? I like it.
Yeah. I mean, everybody loves a good spank.
With me today, I have the one and only Customer Relations Manager, Project and Promotions Manager, Prue. Jess is a little bit unwell today, so she has stepped in. Hello, Prue.
Hi, I'm really excited to be here again. I love the podcast, and what's been happening with Swapping Secrets is like, look at all the cameras. It's so amazing.
So this is a topic very near and dear to Prue's heart and our heart, but particularly Prue. She loves discussing all these little aspects of the grey areas of consent. So this is the nuanced versions of asking for and giving consent in a group play environment. When does yes mean yes? Does that meaning ever change? Asking during play sessions. So like, in a group environment, when there's multiple people, what that looks like. Non-verbal consent is a thing that we will be discussing today, and is, I think, actually a pretty important thing to discuss. So make sure to stick around to the end of the episode where we discuss what you guys thought about what consent was, again, from the Instagram polls that we did recently. And then Prue and I are going to respond live to each of those questions as well and discuss any differences that we have versus what you all responded with.
I'm really looking forward to getting into the spicy consent questions with you. Lawrence and I are both incredibly passionate humans, and when we do come up with differences, there'll be quite a level of enjoyment for everybody listening or watching as we work through that together.
Yeah, the questions are good, and thank you all thank you all to those who've responded. The grey areas of consent. First topic that I wanted to discuss with you is, does consent differ between men and women? Now, I know this is obviously there's more than just men and women genders, but we wanted to discuss from obviously our own perspectives, predominantly me being a cisgendered man.
Yeah, and me being a cisgendered woman. I think we were chatting earlier and sort of saying to each other that like we both know and adore that there's multiple different types of gender expression, but we're not going to pretend like we can inhabit those spaces when we talk about something as personal as consent.
Yeah. If it does come up, like there's bits like where I can talk to like what my experiences in my own social group, which, and in terms of my male social group, are cisgendered men. Like I do have some trans friends, queer, but they are the minority, right? So I've got like the majority of my lived experience with those people, and obviously my own.
Yeah. I mean, I've got like a really wide sort of circle as well, but yeah, I think we'll try and keep it to our nice little spicy opinions.
So the question is there a difference? Does it differ between men and women?
Yes. The podcast's over now.
How so?
I think one of the most interesting things about consent and working out how you kind of want to spend your time together when you choose to play is where you sort of start from. And that intention of how you start something often differs between men and women, and it's often not talked about as well. I think sort of setting from the outset, like players confined to just the club, or like just for this night, or or this can mean something more, or this can have an intimacy, or this can have a through line of connection. I think those are often the sort of mismatching parts that very stereotypically still, I think, in these environments often belong polarizingly to male and female experiences.
I guess I tend to agree. Yeah, like when I see these kind of questions, there's two very distinct paths that go off in my mind. Probably what I think is actually happening versus probably what should happen
Yeah,
or should be happening.
yeah,
And it's kind of like that balance between those two things. So yeah, I guess I agree. Like there is, I guess in the traditional sense of like men being the pursuers and women being the pursued in
yeah,
our society. So consent is typically aligned with men should be asking and women are giving their consent,
yeah,
even though it has to be both ways. And anything that requires obviously physical interaction like that needs consent going both ways. But like from experiences that I see in the club, in particular, is I've I've come across women who believe they don't need to ask for consent because they're a woman.
mhm, mhm,
Do you know what I mean? And that's kind
yeah.
of like, and I have to give them a pretty quick, don't do that. Like
Yeah, you don't get to pinch my butt or kiss me or curl up on me and be all like, "Rrr," because like because you're a girl and all girls find each other sexy. That's not how it works.
yeah,
Like you should still be asking, be giving me the impression verbally that I'm incredibly sexy and therefore you want to kiss, rather than just laying one on me and I'm like, oh no, I'm just a bit grumpy.
yeah, yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah. So I mean, that aside from like people who just don't ask for consent flat out,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's that yeah, that distinction of like, but I'm a woman. You should want
yeah.
this kind of thing. So I don't like,
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
yeah,
I think because I do, obviously, in one of my roles as admin, I do the single male phone calls.
mm,
And I get some extraordinary, I have some wonderful conversations with consent around consent with these guys. It's been really fun to do. Um, but more often than not, they're still, when I remind them that consent isn't just that they need to check that they've got permission, but also that people check in with them for their permission. A lot of them go, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you
I
matter
have
too."
agency.
Yeah, I'm like, "You matter too."
yeah,
Like, you don't have to just want this, you know?
yeah,
You can say yes, you can say no, you can shape it for yourself. You can say maybe later, maybe not. I don't want a brunette tonight. I mean, no, don't say that.
yeah,
But like you know, it's making sure that everyone has that equal agency.
mm,
So those differences slowly start mattering less because we're all better at this.
To add to that, Prue, as well, to be removing it, revoking consent at any point goes both ways. I
Mhm.
have definitely revoked consent in certain circumstances where I just wasn't feeling it. And rather than just go, oh, I'll just close my eyes and brave my way through it because she's doing all the work, I just go, no, I'm not really feeling it. And often, and I've had this happen, women have said, it's totally fine. Yeah, no, absolutely. Don't want you feeling uncomfortable. And they just leave. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely empowering everyone to have that choice to withdraw consent at any time. And I guess maybe we can try and do like teachable things
mm,
around how to do that in a sexy, respectful way.
yeah.
Because we both got mad skills and we can pull that off.
How like do you have any examples of where like that illustrate your example that there are differences between men and women in consent?
I mean, the one that you came up with is like it's genuinely the biggest one.
Yeah, okay.
Um, but also like the withdrawing of consent. Women often don't withdraw consent, and often nor do men. And I think learning how to do that gracefully and kindly, even if you're mid play, is really important. Like being brave enough to be like, I'm not feeling this. You know, let's go get a drink, or I'm gonna go find my partner, or kind of make that reconnection moment.
Yeah.
I think we keep talking universally, which is interesting
Yeah.
because I
Maybe
said there
like
are differences, and now there's none.
I know, but I think you've to me it sounds like you've merged into ideally versus what
Mm,
is actually happening.
yeah.
Um, that's not to say like you know, that situation is necessarily bad. It just seems like people are sort of following assigned roles in society,
Mhm.
pursuer versus pursued, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but even things like during play, asking, is this like checking in?
Yep.
Do you find that there's a difference in that with men and women?
Men tend to verbally check in, but they usually just go, um, like, "You okay?" or "You good?" Like, it's a quick
Yeah,
it's a nice quick little, check-in, and women tend not to check on men.
yeah. I've had an experience once where a woman was very obviously consent focused, and there was a series of questions that would she would when she would check in. It's just like, do you like this particular act? Like, do you like the way I'm sucking your dick?
Yeah.
Do you want it slower, harder, softer? Or that, and she'd give me a range of things that I could go between. And it's kind of like, no, this like stay this. It was like more, less intensity, same intent, like that kind of thing. And I found that actually really nice. And I have tried to emulate that. I'm not always like that, but it's something where it's just like, oh, this could be actually a good. It's just like, do you like the way I'm fucking you right now? Would you like it slower or
Mhm.
or faster,
Yeah.
harder or softer, or you like it all the same? But then it's important not to like be a question filled sex session. Like,
I've
here's a
definitely
survey.
I've
Like,
definitely had one of those, like, rolls in the hay, which involved, "You okay? Is this okay? Are you okay? Is this okay?"
yes,
And I'm like, "Oh, that's all a bit much now."
yeah. I just want to move on into like beyond yes is yes. So like the very
Mm,
binary nature that is often talked about in consent. Yes is yes, no is no, and that's it. That's the end of the discussion.
yeah.
Um, is there more in between?
I
And is yes sometimes a no? Like there's reading of other things going on.
Yeah. I think we keep the yes is the only yes, and no is also a maybe, no is a hesitation, no is a yes under pressure, or like a yes that you can tell is not okay. I think we keep that binary, and we talk about it a lot at OSS because we are a club where people come to meet each other for the first time. And we try to keep it clear and simple to make your capacity to come to OSS and enjoy yourselves, as sort of clean and accessible as possible. But there are so many nuances there. They
Yeah.
really are.
I think like the biggest one to me would be like tone
Mm.
and then body language, right? I can't remember the exact percentage. Probably should have done this in research about like of communication between human beings. How much is the spoken, the actual words, then how much is body language, how much is tone. But I think it's something like body language is the majority, or maybe it's the other way. Do you
I
know?
did look up this a little bit actually to contribute. So I think it's probably about 85% to 90% is body language, given consent. The rest is verbalized and tone, which people
Okay.
accumulate
The
together as
stats I
as
know is
vibes.
kind of like, yeah, maybe like 60 to 70 body language, and then tone makes up then this other
Going back,
major chunk, and then it's like
mm,
5% the actual word.
going back to genders, it's probably skewed. If it's more in the female direction, often it's higher than
Yeah.
it is in the men direction. So potentially that's where the stats
The
more lean
differences are.
towards. So again, differences in genders applies around consent, even in research capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with the binary yes and no, um I mean, I came up through like the kink world through BDSM.
Mm,
Um, and we often talk about our kinks in terms of hard limits. So they're all absolutely no.
yep.
And then we have soft limits,
Yep.
and that's kind of the maybe region. And then we have the dear God, yes, like please get into it ones.
Yep.
Um, and I think that as you learn to, or as you trust both yourself in these environments more, or as you trust your partner in these environments more, or maybe you come regularly, which is always good for you.
Yeah.
um, and you start to play regularly with the same kinds of people or kind of develop those ongoing relationships, that's where that gray area kind of comes in. That's where your soft limits kind of come into play, where you can start actually negotiating in a safe space to move from something that was a hell no or a no thank you or a not with you into a yes please. Okay, let's do it like this.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we'd never try anything new.
Also true.
Mm.
And how do you reconcile those gray areas of that tone where it's kind of like, because you just said something like okay, like, but we're advocating for like a fuck yes level of consent, but when you're going okay, so you're gonna have to read into that a little bit more of
I mean,
what was your body language, what was your tone.
also, if you're talking to someone and you've been flirting and it's feeling sexy and it's feeling great, and then you think it's all going incredibly well, and then you say, "Would you like to go upstairs?" And they go, "Okay." Maybe that's not even about consent. Sometimes that's also just about respect. Respect for yourself and respect for them. You're obviously checking in to find that, clear yes consent, checking in to see what's changed or what you didn't pick up on in terms of the okay being a response. Maybe they're just really nervous, like maybe they're kind of worried or stressed. But also, if they just go, okay, then that doesn't sound like you're gonna go have good sex.
Yeah, no,
Maybe you
yeah, the
should walk
tone.
away.
Then this gets to like the major crux of this discussion is we should be leaning more on the tone and body language more than the actual word.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
Would you agree or not?
I
Have
mean,
we just entered into like very like hot take area?
I take care. Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree, but I do factor in that like we have a dance floor
Mm.
and we have low lights and your clothes and your outfits, no matter what we say, they do kind of speak volumes. And so your brain will kind of.
Are you saying what you're wearing can indicate your level of consent? Bruno? I'm joking. I'm winding you up.
Let's not go that far. How rude. No, but like people that have dressed down to lingerie
Mm.
earlier are often approached in a different way than those that are taking a little more time to dress down. And there's I don't think there's anything wrong with that as long as we're aware of it.
Yeah, I think that to build on that joke that I was making, but the way you approach, like you said, the way you approach the situation might be a little bit different. Here's someone who's obviously comfortable and confident in this environment, being in their underwear or lingerie, whatever it
Yeah.
is, and I might be a little bit more direct,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like
Because we are using our clothes as language.
it's like okay, I'm gauging their interest in sexy stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's 11 o'clock at night and they're still in their jacket, like dropped it like this, you're like, maybe they're not interested in anything. And
Maybe they would like a light flirt to
yeah,
help
it's
like
just like
with their confidence for next time. But I'm
nice
definitely
collar
not
on
gonna.
your jacket.
Yes,
They're like,
yeah, you do that
"Thank
one.
you. It's very nice."
You're definitely not gonna walk up to them and be like, "I haven't had enough cocks in my mouth. Let's go."
Yeah.
Like, I think they just make the squeaky noise and run off.
Speaking of flirting, did you know that we are sponsored and supported by Flirt Adult Stores? So head to flirtadultstores.com.au to get yourself some sexy goodies. And if you use the code SECRET15, you will get 15% off your order. So you can buy lots of things like toys, all these adult goodies and stuff. Bring it along to the club.
Yeah. They've got outfits, costumes. They've just restocked a huge amount of their BDSM stuff as well. So if you've got a little bit of interest in having a little spanky paddle at home, come to the club, try it out first
Yeah.
because we've got them in our little kink cabinet. You can take it home and have fun with it. And if you do join our online members area, every now and again I review the toys that I get to play with.
Double plug.
Mm.
We love a double plug. Anyway, thank you to Flirt. Visit them at flirtadultstore.com.au to go get your goodies and 15% off the discount.
Yeah.
Last topic I want to quickly cover off in the meat and potatoes here is the
We're into the potatoes now.
making consent sexy and safe. Like the actual, how do we have these conversations then?
I think you have to start first by checking in with yourself, because so many people that don't necessarily inhabit these alternative lifestyles, when they kind of come in, they still have old structures and old thoughts and feelings around consent. So checking in with yourself first around your own discomforts,
Mhm.
learning to change in yourself that consent is actually something that you enjoy,
Yeah.
makes you feel good, and you want to make other people feel good. And so starting there is the best way to slowly move towards it becoming incredibly sexy.
Okay. And so, what are some practical ways that you would ask for consent? And let's put it into context of maybe a one-on-one, like couple and couple talking here at the club, or and then a group play situation where there's obviously lots of people who may not have had a conversation up until this very point.
Yeah. I see it. The group play one I find really tricky. I always do because I'm I'm from like my little kinky background. And so if I haven't had a conversation with every person in that pile, I'm not going in. I know that there are very different ways to approach the pile that are still completely valid and really sexy. I just don't know what they are. So maybe you could give me some hints.
It really depends on the people that what's going on.
Yeah.
The first one is going to be proximity, so they have to know you're there. I suppose is the first one, and then you generally there's some. It's more you leaning on more non-verbal, like there's interest, like looking,
Eye
eye
contact,
contact,
yeah. So if there's
huge.
eyeballs peeping out from the pile, it's more okay to edge closer?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I do. For me, it's just like if you're going into a group cold, probably the least optimal way. But if you are going to do that, I think it's a clear question still needs to be asked.
Yeah.
May I join you?
Yeah.
To the group, kind of.
Yeah.
That's more to the group. You might be obviously interested in one person. Like maybe just say you're at 3 Cs at a gangbang. It's like, I'm interested in fucking the woman,
Mm.
not necessarily the other guys, but there's still, do you mind if I draw ears to the collective? And then if there's a yes from everyone, and you should probably be looking at the person if there is a person you're most interested in, gauging if they're responding. It does become one of these trickier ones where it's like people just kind of go along with the group. So just say you've got 6 people, 5 out of the 6 are okay, but what if the one is not?
Yeah.
And they just kind of, well, everyone else said yes.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the important thing then, right, is that even if everybody else said yes, it doesn't mean that you have to then play with the new addition. And the mechanics of 6 people being completely joined at all times means that you can just be on the opposite side, right?
Also
To the
true.
person that you're not super keen on.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's my advice.
Maybe
Just
I'll
say,
have
and
my
then you have
first
to ask a
pile orgy
direct
eventually.
question, the same way you would other like in other situations where it's just like, do you mind if I kiss you? Do you mind if I touch you? Do you mind
Yeah.
if I go down on you? I'd love to fuck you.
Would you like to? I think that's one of the things that I really, really love is when so I know you just said, "Would you mind?" And that's polite and that's kind. I really like it when someone's like, "I really wanna fucking go down on you." Like, when they're
Making it a statement, not a question.
yeah, like, I mean, obviously, I still reserve the right to be like, "Nah,"
Yeah.
or, like, "Work for it," or "Earn it," or
Start at my toes.
"Come on, little one." But, those kinds of really positive, affirming statements often make me in particular, but I think women as well feel I mean, men too, like, incredibly sexy and incredibly wanted, and in feeling incredibly wanted and sexy, that's how consent itself is then
Yeah,
made
yeah,
sexy too.
yeah. I tell myself this often. Gabe's. I'm sorry, this is going so long. There's so much to talk about.
We're so
But
smart.
I tell myself this often that statements in a lot of situations are far stronger than questions. I mean, I'm having this discussion at home at the moment with Michelle, but um, like you said, I would love to fuck you right now. Is I think more appealing than
Yeah.
would you like me to fuck you?
Okay, tone is everything there.
Tone is everything, I
Tone is
know, but like
definitely
I'm just trying to
everything.
illustrate the
But
point.
I think, the statements you can so when you sort of go for, like, "I would love to fuck you," is that okay? You can or, like, "Do you want me?" You can
Yes.
kinda you
Yeah.
can tack like, I just
Joining
realized
this is what I really want.
yeah.
Do you want this too?
Statement of intention, "Do you wanna get on board?" "Ah, we just solved, like, a Mm.
We should make this like a little banner.
So smart.
That should be around the club. Remember, statement of intention followed by, are you in?
Yeah. No, I think
Not like, I can't feel anything. Are you inside me yet? That's
so that's a different thing.
Um,
But I do think that is a really good, beautiful verbal way to express that really clear intention and to make consent feel really sexy. So it's what did we say? We said starting with making sure that we feel comfortable with consent inside ourselves and
I
that
guess,
we
yeah,
feel
being
like it's
practiced
sexy.
on knowing exactly what you are and are not up for.
Yeah.
So you can, at the drop of a hat, say yes or no.
Yeah, or like what you'd like to ask for to experience.
Mm.
I think that's one of the reasons why I love 3C so much because so many of the women walk in and
Knowing what they want.
they know exactly what they want and it's one of our rare events where the women are the hunters. They're the highest predator in the room.
Yep.
And it's hot as shit. And the guys love it. Like the women feel so confident at that event because we've kind of created that space. And it just means they get to walk in and be like, 1, 2, airtight now. Like it's so good.
Yeah. I'm not okay with that. Then move aside.
Oh, you didn't want to share? Bye-bye.
What about, I just want to cover off quickly, like during play.
Mm,
We didn't speak so much about like a one-on-one situation, but I think the it's all true for the same. It's just like statement of intention versus a are you in kind of thing. Works
yeah.
both ways. I like to sometimes weave it into conversation about like, if I'm here at the club, what are you interested in tonight? As a question about
Mm,
like gauging what brought them here, what is their actual interest. So it's just like I'm interested in hooking up with like heaps of guys tonight. Okay, so I'm starting to get the idea like this person is interested in sex, like penetrative sex. You can start
yeah.
you start removing some like I don't know obstacles in your mind about like what might even be okay. Like some
Yeah.
people are just like, I would love to touch you, might be a big deal versus it might not be a big deal. So still ask, but it's not going to be like oh no, I'm not going to. Do you know what I mean? It takes
Yeah.
some of that maybe the
And you're
anxiety
looking
around asking the question.
Yeah, and you're looking for that tone as people answer and let you know what they're looking for as well. It's like the best research you can do so that
Yeah.
you feel more confident when you do ask those bigger questions.
What about aftercare?
Cuddles. Well, okay. So that was a lot of people think aftercare is just cuddles, but aftercare is, I think it's also, for me, I fold aftercare in with consent.
Yeah, this is
And
why I asked because
yeah,
it's part of this conversation. Yeah.
yeah, it's completely inseparable. It is one of the things, though, that we're really bad about talking about before we play. I think kinksters tend to talk about it quite a lot because we do these really intense things, and so we know we need aftercare. I think we forget how intense it can be sometimes just to have amazing sex, but in a public space.
Mm.
And remembering at the start to say, or after to say, can we have a couple of moments to breathe
To bask.
together, to bask, yeah, to glory. I like showering with my partner after sex, like, making sure you say in the club, like, can I soap your back? Like
What
that
about in a
kind of
group
thing.
situation? Say,
Many soap chain.
okay, let's take away the anonymous group. Say it's been a group you've been chatting with all night and you've all hooked up. Say there's 6 of you, 3 couples, for example. Okay, 2 couples and 2 single people.
Mm.
Let's include the singies because we love you. Um, how does that look like? Do you think there needs to be an explicit conversation around after, consent around aftercare? Like,
I mean, an explicit conversation would be great, but more important than that, I think it's after intense sex acts most of the time, you can actually feel it in yourself that you want a little bit of connection and you want a little bit of warmth and you want a little nurturing kind of moment, little basking.
yeah,
And I think it's normalizing that basking.
yeah,
It's fighting for and honoring and being like, yeah, no, we exchanged something. We had this incredible,
yeah,
amazing moment. It was like a big boom. And
yeah.
now let's sit in it and be like, wait, we made magic.
I think when I think about my history of playing in a group situation, almost always there has been some level of aftercare and it's just been done. There hasn't been
Yep.
really a conversation about. you finish playing, you're all taking a breather, having a breath, like that was hot. You might go back to your partner if that's how you're playing, but just sort of hanging around the bed, having a bit of a chat, have a laugh about like, oh, when that happened, like whatever the situation
Yeah.
was, like having a drink of water, getting redressed together, and then parting of the ways is always kind of how it's typically gone. It's rarely been like, oh, goodbye. You know?
Yeah.
Although sometimes that can be sexy too.
Oh yeah,
If that,
cock on demand is fun.
but I would say that
Been
would be
there.
a little bit.
Wham bam, thank you, get out of my house.
But if there's a conversation around that, I think that needs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might feel like, oh, I feel a little used. Unless you say, I want to feel used, fuck off, or I want to use you and leave.
Yeah, humiliation and degradation kinks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
But I do think like the aftercare thing, it's really important in our venue
Mm.
because you are all still here together. It's not like you can leave the house or leave the bathroom stall or like you are still all here together. And I think that's one of the things that I love about the kind of manner of like, you know, clubs like ours, I mean, ours in particular always, is that it really does give permission for that aftercare to be something as natural and simple as, you know, getting dressed together and going down to the bar together and having a giggle and having a laugh. Like it's kind of written in the code of what it means to be community minded when you come to places like this.
Yeah.
I think in the broader world, it is much harder to get decent warm aftercare.
And it's also, you got to be knowing yourself quite a fair bit too, going into situations like knowing how you come across. I think it's important. Being self-aware in many ways is important, as well as reading into any situation, knowing that maybe you're not as good as reading into situations, but being honest about that. Just being like, hey, let me know if you're not having a good time.
Yeah.
There's the reverse of that too, because you can be upfront and just say, maybe I'm just not that good at reading people. Sorry, you know, some people aren't, and that's okay. But you know, you have to be honest with yourself and then subsequently other people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of that, there's a lot of stigma around those kinds of people. And speaking of stigma,
good point, producer Gabe. Thank you.
Oh my god.
We are sponsored and supported by Stigma Health. So what is Stigma Health? Go to stigmahealth.com and they provide you sexual health screening referrals. So you go online, fill out your details, your Medicare number and stuff like that. If you don't have a Medicare number, it still works. You just have to pay a little bit of an extra fee. And then you can get your STI screening check request sent to your phone, take that to your local pathology center, and then get your screenings done there. It's fast, it's safe, and you can get your results back to your phone in a few days. If you use the code PlaySafe10, you can get 10% off your order. You can also multi-buy your requests. So if you are a person who likes to do a number of requests throughout any given time, you can go and do that too. So for people obviously in the non-monogamy community, regular screening is advised. Go ahead and do that. Thank you again to Stigma Health. That's stigmahealth.com.
So, if Gabe is ready, I would love to start hearing what information came back from our Instagram surveys in Just the Tip.
So, Prue and Lawrence, you'll notice next to you have your lovely little whiteboards, which have appropriately the handles for Swapping Secrets podcast on the back. But on the fronts, it's blank, and that's where you're going to be writing your responses to these
both
questions.
Of us needed a moment to be explained about the other side. That was great.
Thank you. I appreciate your candid response. So, Prue, Lawrence, I'm going to ask you these questions. We asked our lovely audience on social about what they consider consent to be, and you will give your responses secretively. And then once you've written them down, reveal them to the cameras, to the audience, and we'll see if you guys agreed or disagreed.
Yeah.
And then I'll read out the responses from our audience in terms of
percentages. I'll be keen to hear that too.
Okay. So question number 1. Do you think yes means yes is enough when it comes to consent?
Yes or no? Is that a yes or no
You
question?
can say yes, no, or it's more complex. Okay. Prue, what did you think?
I said...
Can we do it at the same time?
Sure.
But I ruined it already. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
So Prue said,
snap.
No. It's a good start, though. And Lauren said, it's more complex.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Which is pretty similar. We don't have anything to fight over for this one.
What did the audience say?
The audience said 68% said it's more complex.
Yeah.
68%.
Yep.
Boo.
2%.
69. Come on.
Every time we get close to 69, we're all like, oh, we should definitely 69, 69.
One more vote.
Missed opportunity, guys. You fucked it.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it is more. For the things that we talked about, like body language, tone, it can't
Yeah,
just be a
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Only 2% said yes, and the remainder said no.
Do you? Is there like coercion in the background? Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you suss something out?
But I think that like when you're starting with like talking about consent, especially with kids, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that it is a good start.
Yeah.
The only yes is a yes.
Agreed.
Everything else means no. And it's a good start to start there.
Question number 2. Have you ever relied on body language or non-verbal signals to gauge consent? Yes or no? Would you like to reveal your answers? Yes, across the board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think yes. Those is so.
But also like we don't fuck strangers all the time. And like so for me, the better that I know someone, the more that we have a connection and a catalogue of choices and awareness. That's when the body cues and the nonverbal stuff really comes into play.
When I responded to this question, I was thinking of someone I've only just met. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about a person I know well or as a long-term partner.
I don't trust well, I'm also really bad at actually flirting with anyone, but I don't trust myself.
Well, 89% of people said yes.
Mm.
The rest said no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Question number 3. Do you feel comfortable saying no in a group setting? Yes or no?
I'm tempted to write no because this is a group setting to show that I'm mad. You did. Oh no, you didn't. Yeah.
Lauren said yes. Prue said yes. Yeah. Thank God for that. Don't know what territory we would have entered in there.
What was the results of that one?
Yeah, it was like 98%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
said yes.
So 2%. What do they call in those surveys where it's like a
degenerates,
a
degenerates,
non-legitimate response?
They're just being trolls.
Don't
pretty much.
If the 2% were actually expressing vulnerability, then please know that that's not a bad thing and that we're on team self-improvement and growth and confidence.
We agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next question. Which is harder? And this might be a fun one to see who says what. So, starting the consent talk or speaking up mid-play? Which is harder? Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, please reveal.
Oh, wait, I was going to do a little cartoon. Hang on. Yep.
Prue's just illustrating her point. Hey, mid-play.
That's a ball gag.
Ah.
Oh, I thought I made that so obvious.
I got it as soon as well.
Yeah.
Mid-play. Yeah, I think mid-play is harder because it might have already been there, and then feeling like letting someone down can be harder. I know I struggle with this sometimes where it's like I've not, like you were talking about earlier, Gabe, just not sticking to what like is actually honest for you.
Yeah.
Just doing something to placate the other person.
What is it? You lie back and think of England.
Yeah.
But I think the older that I get, and the more time that I spend in our lifestyle kind of worlds, I'm learning how to be braver around speaking up mid-play and finding ways to do it that hold vulnerability and kindness so that I'm not gonna like still have bad sex. Like life's too short.
Yeah. And I
bad
think
sex
like
and
I try to frame it like this in my mind. I know I would feel awful if someone just had sex with me or was happy to have sex and then didn't want to and then didn't say anything, and then I found out later, I'd be like, you should have said something, it would have been
or
okay.
wasn't enjoying it or like didn't say to me stop or change something, like just let it happen, and I'm like, no,
I would
please
have much
don't do
preferred
that.
the feedback or the no than continuing on and thinking it was okay. So I've had to apply that to myself and just going, I'm sure that they would appreciate this as well.
Yes.
Well, the point I'll make is that 81% of people agree with you. Mid-play is probably the hardest.
Yeah.
Versus,
okay.
the rest saying starting the consent talk prior to starting play.
Yeah.
Do you think checking in during play is sexy is the next question. Do you think checking in during play is sexy? Yes, always, or no, it ruins the mood?
Oops, sorry, Lawrence.
Yes and yes across the board.
I put an exclamation mark there.
I just made mine really big.
Yeah, absolutely. Like what we talked about. You might be like you've gotten consent to actually have sex, but then the types of sex that you might be having,
Yeah.
or that certain acts of during sex, and which is obviously the tacit implication of sex is still okay, but like I would love to whatever insert act here while you're having sex. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'd like you to unpack that.
Okay, so say we're having sex
I want
and
you to say the dirty things.
you want me to say the dirty
Yeah.
things, like
I'm like, insert what, where? Act, huh? Say the dirty things, Lawrence.
do you mind if I fist your ass?
No, but it's true. Like checking in like that. It's like sex is on the table, but how you do it,
How it
what
is.
goes where, how it's felt, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only way to try anything new or to move from
Yeah, like
just P and V penetration or fingers or strap-ons or however you have sex, the only way to vary or play inside the normal structure of what understanding is around sex for you is to ask those questions,
Yeah.
to check in, to be
Yeah.
like, you want to go next level?
yeah, like we're fucking. It's like, you want to fuck your slutty pussy like I paid for it, or like you're the only woman on the earth that is worth anything?
Yeah, like your royalty or like a dirty whore. I'm both.
So,
I think empathy goes with whatever level of sex you appreciate. You know,
Mm.
we've had couple situations where the woman of the couple has text my partner saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did that at the time. Was that okay?" You know, I've been thinking about it nonstop.
Yeah.
You know, so there's obviously something that was read in that time that wasn't said at the time, but later came out in a conversation,
Yeah.
which is also still valid and important. And on a mental level, it probably made my partner feel a lot more comfortable,
Yeah.
and relieve some sort of anxiety she had built up on that.
yeah.
And it's wonderful that like the person that you're talking about that you were playing with felt safe enough and comfortable enough to bring up the thing that was stuck in her mind.
Mm.
Like, because I think we don't always finish sex when we walk away, and consent is also part of being open to that connection and honoring that connection with follow-ups and with check-ins and with sharing things if there are little bits that have come up in the days and weeks after.
What do the people say?
So the people said around that 71% think checking in is good.
Yeah.
Versus the remainder who probably think, ruining the mood potentially is something they're more focused
But the question
on.
was like, is it asking hard during this is
No, it's
easier?
is checking in during sex sexy?
Oh yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the previous question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And maybe they just haven't had the right person check in.
Potentially.
Get the sex voice on, being like,
They might
"Do
think
you
how
like it like this,
just
baby?"
the level of what I was saying. We've already agreed to have sex. Why are you asking me again?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Next question. Have you ever been unsure if someone was into it even after they said yes? Yes or no? Have you ever been unsure if someone was into it even after they said yes? Yes or no? Oh,
Oh.
interesting. So
I-
Lauren said no. So Lauren said yes, sorry. And
Mhm.
Prue, you said no. Would you
Yeah.
care to elaborate?
I've been in situations where I've been having sex with someone. I'm like, I'm not sure this person really wants to be here right now. Yeah.
That speaks volumes to our male audiences potentially about how sensitive we can be to those situations. I've felt the same.
I suppose, and this like goes back to like ending sex, like being comfortable saying ending sex is where I think I've fallen down. I've let myself down a lot, where like not following my intuition or listening to the little voice inside, like something's up, just stop.
Yeah.
Even though they're saying yes, but I'll think about it and just like, I just don't feel like something's up, and maybe they didn't feel like, and all these questions are interrelated. They didn't feel comfortable taking consent away during sex or whatever. They didn't understand that they weren't liking something or had the language to say no, or they didn't think it was appropriate to say whatever it was. Like, I'm supposing on their behalf.
Sure.
There have been instances where I'm like,
And Prue, you said no.
Well, I mean, it's like if you want to add in all the kink and BDSM stuff that I do, unequivocally yes, absolutely. But I don't actually just have sex or just play in a sexual way very often. So I think I'm really precious about those experiences then. Yeah, really make sure that they are wanted by both or all parties and that we're all kind of really into it. So far I haven't had an experience where that's
So,
happened.
so for you, it's all or nothing, basically. 100% it has to be each time.
Yeah, or like a decent 95 to 98. Because, sometimes you're also a bit tired but horny. But yeah.
I feel you. Next question. What's the bigger consent red flag? Silence or mixed signals?
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Ah!
I I was mixed on which way to go. I'm like, they're both not great, but thinking about just, it's kind of like 51-49, edging this way. If they say nothing, I've got nothing to go off. They might, and then I thought about mixed signals could be, I'm happy with this. Oh, I don't like that. And they're sort of chopping and changing their what they're happy with it all in one session, which I would prefer than silence.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
Because at least there's something to go off.
I was kind of starting from like the beginning of consent, like a negotiation between like a new human or something.
Mm.
If you're going silent, that's it. It's fucking done. You're not interested, I'm gonna move away. This mixed signals becomes such a massive red flag because you 1 minute are flirting with me and it seems like I should definitely ask you if I can kiss you. And then you say, no, I don't want you to kiss me, but I'll get another drink. Like, do you know what I mean? It's that
Yeah,
the
I know what you're
mixed
saying.
It's psychologically a lot more damaging.
and it rocks your confidence it really and I've seen it happen a little bit in every now and again in the in the club or in different spaces and I'm like, oh man, if you just like silence is definitely more of a red flag during play.
Mm.
Absolutely. But for me, mixed signals before play around that sort of really important verbal consent, visual consent mode, like it drives me nuts. And I just say what you mean. Just
Mm.
be honest. Just say I'm here tonight to feel like the most sexy human on the planet, but I don't feel like playing. If you've got some energy to spend some time with me, I'd love to have a chat.
Yeah. Maybe that's some feedback, is like qualifies
Mm.
into the scenarios we're talking about. Because Prue's right. I was thinking about during sex.
Yeah, and I was thinking about before,
Yes.
which
fair point.
means we both get gold stars for this answer.
Well, no one's either wrong or right here.
Yeah.
Hey,
No.
someone needs to get a
So
certificate
what were
for
the
this.
people say? I'm keen to hear what the people said on this.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it was actually a quite like a almost even split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
48% said silence, 52% mixed signals.
There you
Yeah.
go. So yeah, like what I was saying, 51-49. I was like, it could go either way. It's like
Yeah.
they're both not great.
Yeah. And it definitely
Tough one.
depends on the
Ethical
context. you're
dilemma,
talking
that
about
one.
it.
It's like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the point you made though, Prue, about it psychologically. I think it's a lot more of a mood killer, or like just it kind of ruins the night a little bit more to be mixed than it is to be silenced, because at least you can read into silence.
Yeah.
Especially if you are a responsible, ethically empathetic person, during play, you could interpret silence in one way and then ask what that means, versus mixed signals, you get mixed responses. It can just be a lot harder.
Yeah. When someone's
figure out.
verbally like, yes, keep going. That's great. But you can see all their muscles are kind of tense. Like, especially the muscles across the back of someone's shoulders, like pulling themselves kind of into themselves. And you're like, you're not enjoying this at all. Why do you keep saying you are?
Next question. This has been a fun one. But next question. Should group play always start with a verbal consent conversation? Yes or no? And no, you can just say, no, vibes are enough.
Oh, so there's a third option. Vibes are enough.
Yeah, you could say vibes are enough. Yes. So it's either yes or no, or vibes are enough.
Well,
write your answers down. Don't tell me.
I feel like we need like scenarios like, Sally and Adam and Harry and John and Peter and Trish want to do group play.
No, that just makes it too easy. I want to torture you a little bit. This is my kink.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Yeah, I wrote that and then I rubbed it out.
So Lawrence wrote yes, but vibes can be enough. And then Bruce just said yes.
Yeah.
And if you forced me to answer one way, like the poll would, I would go vibes are enough. But I wanted to put in the yes because I was thinking about one of the words in the question, should there always be? Yes, there should always be.
Yeah.
But and then I think about it in real world practical terms, and I've seen it happen countless times here in the club where I do not see an active conversation, but they all have hot sex hooking up with each other because they've worked it out.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like someone just walked up behind them and just grabbed them. I mean like there was a level of communication but it wasn't verbal.
Yeah.
It was like
it's that choosing to connect in that.
like-
Again,
like-
do that again.
like,
It's choosing to connect in that, and to return that heat and to stoke that fire. I think that's the vibes that kind of that like mean that they are actually kind of enough.
yeah. And to lean on that, there's a couple of examples I have. So like, you know, in 3Cs, for example, a woman's getting fucked on the bed doggy, and there might be a guy that she hasn't talked to, has just walked up and he's got his cock out, and then she'll just grab it and start sucking it.
Yeah.
Because he was close enough that it's clear that's what he was. He was interested in playing, and she's like, I'll suck that cock, and just grabbed onto it.
Yeah.
Another one is
But we've created that vibe in the event as well
Correct.
for that to work.
but there hasn't been, I'd love you to suck my cock, will you? And she'd
Yeah.
go, I'd love to suck your cock, may I? There's just been
No, at 3C she'd be like, wasted my mouth.
this is not what my mouth is supposed to be going.
What people said to that in terms of our poll responses. So it was an interesting one. It was kind of across the board. So 33% said yes, 23% said no, and then the remainder said vibes is enough.
Yeah, okay.
So the majority said vibes are enough.
So next point or next question. Do you think people underestimate the role of aftercare in consent? Yes or no?
I wonder what I'm going to write.
For all of you just listening, I gave Prue a knowing look.
You ready?
3, 2, 1, reveal.
Yeah.
Yes, sad face from Lawrence. Yes, yes, yes
Yeah.
from Prue. Let's go to the last question then. Last question. What builds more trust? Asking before or checking during? And if I'll give you the context. It's just straight sex. It could be in a group setting or one-on-one or solo. Although I don't know why you'd be asking yourself. If it's okay to rub yourself off. I guess you could build trust with yourself.
Yeah.
I'm getting stuck on this point.
All right, ready?
3, 2, 1.
Yay.
I think before.
Before and before.
Yeah. I think the person is clearly consent orientated just to ask. So you kind of get an inclination.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then I go to, does it build more trust? Like trust is established, and then we're sort of, if it's a one and done kind of deal, before definitely. But if it's someone that is like a recurring partner,
Mm.
the way they sort of think about consent and like asking is during would be more trust building.
Yeah.
Damn it, there's so many ways to skin this cat. What did the people say?
The people said majority asking before, 78%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think if someone asks before, they set the precedent for you to be able to communicate during.
Mm.
So if they haven't talked before, then it doesn't matter if they talk during. You're already like,
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Any more?
That's it. That's
That's
our
it.
question section.
We made it. We didn't fight once.
I think I need to be announced the winner because we did a good job together. That's how winning works, right?
I actually got a lot out of that. Thanks for joining me, Prue, on today's episode about the grey areas of consent. So much to go over. And it actually solidified some things in my mind and got me to think about some stuff.
Yeah, me too. I think a lot of my favorite conversations with you and with Jess are when we talk about the kind of human side of what we do. Slightly less than the emails and all the other extra bits. And it always,
Yeah.
like, you guys always impress me. I always learn something new. So Yeah.
What did you guys think out there in listener land or watching land about the topic? Please send us a DM on socials or put a comment in Spotify if you're listening there. Don't forget to spank that subscribe button. 5 stars for sexiness. Always, baby. She has maybe Prue hasn't heard this bit.
I really haven't. I'm so sorry, Lawrence. That was so amazing. I'm so sorry.
We can't wait for you to join us in the next episode, and we'll see you at the club in between then. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. That was so good though. 5 stars for sex. Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah, I wrote that one.
Yeah, it's good.
Spank that subscribe button is one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
And
it's
just
good.
as a section as
But the way you just rolled it all together and made it sound incredible, it was great.